a former collegiate football player, a successful business leader, and a currently active lacrosse player and coach. Swiatkowski has been involved in human performance improvement for over 35 years. Whether you are looking to improve performance in your business, your personal life, or athletic endeavors, Ski will give you strategies that will launch your performance to the championship level.
I think people are tired of hearing about goals and goal setting. I really do. You know the attitude. I know all that stuff. I don't want to hear it. I'll give you an example. I'm speaking yesterday, and as I'm being introduced, the guy introducing me mentions the G word, right? 20 people jump up and run out of the room screaming, right? But that wasn't the bad part. The people that stayed pretended they were dead. You know, it's like, you know what I'm talking about, right? Try Googling goal articles. 64 million, that's with an M, million results, right? And those were articles done last month, right? All right, now listen. We have beaten this subject to death. I know we have, all right? But I want to give you a different perspective on it now. A study was done very recently. It said 92% of the people surveyed had said that goal setting was really important to achieving their dreams. That's the good news. Unfortunately, the bad news is almost the same percentage said that they were unsuccessful in achieving their dreams. And 75% of their parents and grandparents were unsuccessful in achieving their dreams as well. I don't get it. That doesn't fit, right? Does goal setting not work? It does work. The issue is this. Many of us just don't do it correctly, completely, or consistently. Or we have bad goals. Like the time I decided I was going to grow a full head of hair. That didn't work. Didn't work. But seriously, it's not about goal setting, goal planning. It's really about what did you say you were going to do to achieve the goal, and what did you actually do to achieve the goal? It's that space in between. And that space is called the performance gap. Now, we're getting to the nitty-gritty stuff, so you might want to get your pens out and start to take a few notes, okay? Does anybody need a pen? Need a pen? Here, I'll give you one. Here.
Does it work?
Yes, that's okay. That's I need that. I need that pen back. That was a gift.
I'm getting it back.
No, that was a gift from my hairstylist 25 years ago. Listen, I don't care if you are an athlete, if you're a business owner, if you are a salesperson, a manager, a student, or what. If you want to achieve a goal, a specific goal, you need to have a performance strategy that supports you in doing exactly what you need to do to achieve that goal. Now, that strategy needs to have three things. First, you need to have a strong commitment to the goal. You need to have a super focus on the goal. And you need to have consistent, purposeful action toward the goal. These three things are referred to as the performance power principles. This afternoon, we're going to focus and we're going to dig down on those principles, because I want to give you information that you can use and go back and create performance that's going to help you achieve goals. So let's get to it right now. There are going to be times when maintaining your commitment is going to be extremely difficult. You're going to be distracted, you're going to be challenged, and you're going to be tested to see if that goal is really something that you want. And when I think about challenges, I automatically think of a young lacrosse player that I coached named Blair Lloyd. Now, Blair started playing lacrosse in the 5th grade, and he just loved the game of lacrosse. By the time he was going into his junior year, his goal was he wanted to be a starter on the varsity team that I coached. A great goal. But unfortunately, it wasn't going to happen. In the preseason, Blair was in a horrendous car accident. And When they got him to the hospital, they found a blood clot in the side of his head the size of a hockey puck. This boy was near death. When I got to see him a few days later, he was still in a coma. I walked in and I looked. His head was so swollen I could not recognize him. I couldn't believe it was a person. His eye looked like it was going to explode out of his head. And I thought to myself, dear God, it's going to take a miracle for him to be saved. And what's his life going to be looking like when he gets out of the hospital, if he does live? But miracles happen. Sure enough, with great medical care, he started to show signs of improvement. And he continued to improve to the point where they moved him to a rehab hospital, where the real hard work had to start. Now he had to rebuild his mind and his body. He asked his parents to bring his lacrosse stick. And he held the lacrosse stick every day. He wanted his lacrosse stick. His mother said he drew power from that. This was his new commitment to getting back out on the lacrosse field and playing the game that he loved. Now, fast forward to springtime, the first day of spring practice. Amazingly, there was Blair Lloyd with his stick, his equipment. He's ready to practice. Was he ready to practice? No. No, he still had visual impairment in the left eye. He didn't have his coordination. He didn't have all of his strength back, but he was not going to be stopped. He continued to work. He continued to practice. He wanted to play in the games, and play he did. Folks, here's a boy that they said he probably wasn't going to live. Then they said, well, he's probably never going to walk. And then they said, he's probably never going to play any competitive sports. Playing lacrosse, the game he loved, because he had a commitment to reach that goal. And he did what he needed to do to get there. Now, I pray to God that you're never faced with that type of a challenge. But I want you to ask yourself this. When I look at the goal that I want to achieve, is my commitment strong enough to carry me through all the way to completion? And will I be able to meet and handle the challenges that I have? And that's what we're going to work on now. We're going to look at your commitment. I tell the guys on the lacrosse team that we're successful when we share the ball. So I'm going to share the ball with you now, all right? This is audience participation time. I want to make it safe right now for you to look at the goals and what you've done with them in your life. So here's what I'd like you to do. I want everybody to close your eyes, and don't open them until I tell you to again. Everybody close your eyes. Right? Now, I also want you to be completely honest with yourself. This means telling your ego to shut up for about 2 minutes or so. Now, here it is. By show of hands, how many people here have had a goal that they didn't achieve, had a goal that they kind of modified, but they had to modify it because they didn't achieve the original goal? And finally, how many people had a goal they never even attempted to achieve? So with your hands, raise your hands. How many people fit that category? Okay, put your hands down, open your eyes. Again, I tried to make that safe for you. Now, surprise, surprise. Everybody raised their hands. First of all, it is the rare individual that isn't challenged periodically with achieving their goals. People struggle, okay? The second point is, this is a great starting point for you to look honestly about where you are with your goals and how you've done so far. So the second part of this is, I'm going to ask you to turn to page 2 of your notes. All right? And now I'm going to ask you to take 2 minutes, and I want you to think and write those goals that you've had that you did not achieve, any goals that you've had that you've kind of modified so you can make it, and then any goals that you haven't even tried because you were afraid to. All right? In any area of your life, you have 2 minutes. Go.